good morning, and hello, greeting. This is our Saturday Pajama Jam. Yo, there we go. And I hope everybody is having a wonderful day today. Indeed. And a great weekend that will follow. Hopefully a week. The week that preceded it was good as well. Okay, so in the face of all this stuff, I say this constantly, and I will keep saying it. Find that creative energy, that voice. Yes, it is your choice. Whether you can be gloomy and doomy or try to put out there what you've always wanted to somehow on paper, in music, in words, in paint, in your garden, any number of things. This is the time. It always is the time, but now's really the time for us to wake up to the power of art, power of creative energy, and the way that it can help to induce a method of harmony in every aspect of our society and economy. Big change can and will happen if we positive, wonderful change. And it might take a long time, but you have to start somewhere. You have to start with a stroke in order to make a painting. And that painting may take 1,000,000 years to paint, but as long as you don't throw it away, you don't even have to work on it every day. But if you do, oh yes, you can have this. I mean, everything that can happen in a painting can come true, and it can be beauty like we've never seen before. And essentially, that's a metaphor for how we can use the power of creation and the connection to the energy of creation, to the idea of harmony and beauty, as that can be a force for us to truly move us towards a utopic society. There's an area in the piece, a painting, for example, that's super greedy and it takes all the color and whatnot and it takes all the focus. The whole painting is unbalanced. It's almost, it's not worthless, but it's, you can create a very unbalanced, uncomfortable, disharmonious composition in a piece, and that is not the art that tends to move people the most. That tends to be that which, that inspires, that motivates, that redirects. I mean, there's always some in order to redirect the way that the consciousness flows through art, which is to say changing art's methods, which is absolutely essential for the evolution of anything, including art. Has to be changed. There's still an essence to and connection to harmony and to creating something that is an overall powerful entity or universe in and of itself. It doesn't have to be, I mean, there's some dark paintings and some paintings with some stark contrast and some disturbing feelings that have nothing to do with the imagery, just the feelings of the color of the lines. But it does not mean, just because it might make us feel a little bit chilled, that it is not connecting somehow to a greater essence of the sublime, and we're finding a sense of beauty in that, and a sense of purpose in that art. Now, you can do art that is purposefully unbalanced, like getting back to the original metaphor. Art that is greedy, that sucks in all the composition to one area or something, is not going to be a successful painting generally, or anything that happens. If you make a garden and everything goes to one spot and everything gets choked out and all the rest of the garden has nothing, it just, things need to be harmoniously somehow distributed, and each thing can be different. Every stroke of paint that I put on canvas is more or less different. It has its own personality and characteristics. Some are much more strong than others. Some end up being unseen by the others that layer on top of it. Some are very bold, some are subtle, but they all work together to form a harmonious existence inside the picture plane of the painting. If the guide, aka the artist, is not working for the benefit of the piece, if the artist isn't making that painting for the sake of the painting being a harmonious composition, for it to come across as a universe of not only of intrigue, but that really goes into the next dimension of how art and how life and how color can connect to our consciousness, connect to our deep, deep, deep parts of us that words can't even describe. It's done, those pieces that are often the most important to us as humans, and it doesn't just have to, I'm not talking Western art. There's a sublimity, there's a real service to not just a subject matter. And if there is subject matter, it likes often to the essence or energy of the subject matter, but the work that moves us for the sake of the work itself is that which is tendered to with custodianship and presence of consciousness by the artist to keep the piece and to maintain and create a piece that's a fully working, functioning unit or universe, whatever that might be, with a sense of overall working harmony. The artist doesn't generally go to a painting, or for example, with the intent of making it terrible. And if a person does that, just they do cookie cutter images for the sake of making a bunch of money or that kind of thing, well, that's not custodianship to painting. That's greed. That's the same systems that have made our governments and our economies, the way that we buy products, the way that we decide what we want, the way that we've destroyed the earth for the sake of making garbage nobody needs and exploiting people and creating a mass poverty and genocide in order to do so. If we wish to be different than those systems, then we really need to take a lesson from the harmony, from the painter, from the artist, from the composer. That is where we change our economy. That is how we affect each other and reestablish a connection as human beings and a functioning existence. Harmony of composition, the harmony of contrast through conscious composition. Choice and chance, the navigation of choice and chance, where everybody gets to dance. Yeah, it's early in the day. I can crank it up a little bit. Changed my levels last night. I almost forgot about that. oh yeah, this is kind of fun. More than kind of. And that's another thing too. Art, art can be and is in a sense, very serious business. It is. It's deep, serious business. There's a lot of incredible stuff going on. The more you look into it and find the little microcosms and the details and all this stuff, it's like, and the way that it relates to the very, there's a lot of real truths of our reality, physical and metaphysical alike. It's deep, serious stuff, but it is art is simultaneously so many things, necessary and unnecessary, work and not work, serious and fun. It's just so many contrasts, and it's so important for us consciously to be able to come to terms with those contrasts. And that's what art is, I think. A big part of it is harmony of contrast. But it is supposed to be fun as well. Should I say, art has the capacity to take us away, to be enjoyable, to really be a fluid and flowing and, dare I say, fun process. And for some people, that's where it stops, and that's where it is, and that's just fine. I used to get offended when I would talk about my work, and I'm going to be having a marathon painting just nonstop all weekend or whatever, people were like, oh, how fun. And that used to offend me. It doesn't anymore. And it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. But I'm like, I don't do this for fun. I believe art's so important, and it's this great effort to try to connect and people and create a new utopic vision of the world and custodianship of this planet and the universe based on love and harmony. And I think it's such an important variable in that. But it should be fun. If I'm not really having fun when I'm doing my work, and it does happen, and the work does suffer for it as well. Because a sense of whimsy, a sense of excitement, a sense of joy, and a sense of fun is important for the adventure of seeing where art can take us and where life can take us. If you don't have that sense of joy, whimsy, or fun, or adventure, then yeah, you're too serious, and your life will not really move forward, per se. I mean, who am I to say what will or will not happen with your life? But I do believe that that sense of whimsy and that sense of fun can really take you places with others, with the world, with yourself, that are pretty bar none unique. So while art is very serious business, it's also fun, whimsical business. It's why children get into it so much, and it's such a fun activity to play with and to paint. And so many kids like to draw and color and paint for good reason. My goodness, let them. Let them, please. You can set things up in your home so your furniture or whatnot is safe if that's an issue, but your child's conscious development is more important than a little bit of paint on the floor. Well, that was fun. Do love to play the guitar. I hope those of you who have always wanted to play the guitar, play some other kind of instrument, have the means and time in which to try to put some dedication to that now. It can only benefit you. I can't say that enough. Following your hobbies, your passion, your art, your creativity can only benefit you and your loved ones. I mean, I guess you could go obsessively crazy and fill your house with just like making it a swimming pool of paint. That probably wouldn't be good for anybody. But within the realms of reasons of doing things that won't specifically physically hurt or violate somebody, I think it can strengthen your bond with people, help you be more creative in the ways that you can connect with your children, for example, and your life in general. You have that little bit of a release. Even if it's tough sometimes to learn the guitar, it's a challenge, for example. Sometimes it can be a challenge to draw and paint and get your eye-hand coordination and motor skills just right. But enjoy the process. You're supposed to suck at first, and it's supposed to be beautiful, and it's supposed to be something that you personally can grow from and learn from and get enjoyment out of every step of the way. So please do that. Learn that instrument. Learn how to draw or paint. All you really need to do is pick it up and start playing or start scribbling. Do another little jam, I think, and then maybe a little more rock. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it might help if I do that. call that a jam. Oh, man, that was a happy accident, actually. Did this accidental little funky, like weird, noisy loop or effect-like loop, and just came up with that. That felt really good. I hope someone else enjoyed it other than me. Anyways, we are Art for Truth, and I hope that you are all doing well. Continue to be creative, make art. We will see you on Monday. I will be back here around the happy hour time-ish with Mellow Monday. Won't quite be playing things like this then, but we like to change it up some and do different things. In the meantime, you can see more at my Art for Truth, Art 4 with the number 4 Truth, YouTube channel, Instagram, and all that kinds of stuff. I put more content out, art lessons, all kinds of things. So once again, have a great one, and thank you all very, very much for your ear and your time.